Hi all, it's Michelle from Cozyegg and Ramsey's, and this is episode 149. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, 2025, and like my last video, this one is probably going to be a hot mess too. So we're just going to roll with it, but I felt like I needed to come on and do a video for a couple of reasons. So here we are. And yeah, so this is a channel primarily about cross stitch. If you are new here, welcome. Apologies in advance. If you are a returning viewer, thanks for sticking around. So, oh good, you're gonna sort of sit down. Okay. So, what's new in the world? Well, I mentioned in my last video that Eric was having some health issues. He is doing a little better, which I'm very grateful for. Unfortunately, we also lost Tut. So, yeah. And, you know, anyone who has watched my videos or been on a Zoom with me knows that Tut was my constant companion. He was never very far from me. It is a huge, huge loss. So, Ramses is also grieving in his own way, and so we are trying to give him all the attention that he wants. And when he walks around the house looking for Tut or you know, yelling at us, we just, you know, we try to give him attention and talk to him and, you know, all that good stuff. So I am not doing well, but I am trying to, you know, kind of put one foot in front of the other and continue on as best I can. So we had at Guild last week, we had Katie Strachan speak, which was amazing. She is so inspiring, and thankfully so, because that was my first time to get on a Zoom and not have Tut with me. So, and obviously this is my first video without him with me, but I'm glad that Ramses is laying here in his place. Ramses is really like Eric is his person, so he has been coming and sitting with me a little bit more than normal, but he remains Eric's person. Or Eric remains his person, I suppose. So anyway, I have been stitching a little bit, and I have been reading a little bit. So, you know, and I kind of hesitated to do this video because I knew that I was going to be a mess. And also this will be the last video that has footage of Tut in it. So I hesitated to do it for that reason as well. But we move on as best we can. So I did also just record a video of my newest release that I have that will be released on Sunday the 13th. And I will go ahead and show that to you. It is another Tombstone Angel, and this is called A Poet's Heart. And it includes a verse by Percy Shelley, as well as his the year that he died, and the words cor cordium, which means heart of hearts. And I have included an anatomical heart here. The reason being that after Percy Shelley died, they had a funeral pyre where they burned his body and the body of the companions that were also drowned at sea. And his heart did not burn. So it was given to Mary Shelley after he died, and she kept it with her up until the day that she died, wrapped in silk and wrapped in one of the last poems that he wrote. So it seemed fitting to me that as we were dealing with our own issues with Eric's heart and with Tut's heart, that this piece came to life. So I'm very pleased with it. I will read the verse to you. It says, "We are as clouds that veil the midnight moon. How restlessly they speed and gleam and quiver, streaking the darkness radiantly, yet soon night closes round and they are lost forever." So, and this is on a board by April of Homestead Needleworks. She does the most beautiful boards. She did the board for Lilite, and she does the boards for my planchettes as well. And this is stitched on 40 count sandbar by Under the Sea Fabrics with Weeks Dye Works in Coal. And the chenille trim is Lady Dot Creates in the color Licorice. So very pleased with this, and I'm pleased to release this out into the world so that Lilite finally has a companion as was intended. There is a third tombstone that I am working on, and hopefully that one will come a little quicker than this one did. Also, do not fret. I am close to releasing Henrietta as well, so she is coming. I've just been a little slow with that, and I want to do her justice, so I'm trying to take my time and make sure that she is ready to go with no issues. But with everything that has been going on, I am finding it very hard to focus. So, and that has been the case in the past few months as we've been dealing with everything we've been dealing with. So just bear with me, but she's coming, I promise. Okay, so let me show you what I have been working on. I think I showed you last time. I don't think it was finished. If it was, apologies. But I had been working on Rebecca Nurse by The Primitive Hair. this is the chart. So it's the Rebecca Nurse homestead. Rebecca Nurse is one of the women that was hanged as part of the Salem witch trials. And I stitched this on, I don't think it was finished the last time I showed it to you, but it's finished now. So here is my finish. And I made a couple of changes. So this is stitched on the called for Vintage Country Mocha in 40 count. It is stitched with the called for DMC. The two changes that I made, I changed the date and I left her name off the bottom. Mostly I left her name off because I want this to be able to fit like in a 5x7 frame, which I'm hoping it will. And I just didn't think that the piece needed it. And then on the chart, it has the date, you know, it says Salem 1692. 1692, of course, being when the witch trials occurred. I had originally stitched 1692 and I ripped it out. And instead I did 1678. That is the year that the house was built. And I thought that it was a nice way to honor her life and this historic home, as opposed to the tragic way that she died. So finished that. I had started this last February with some friends as a stitch along, and when I picked it back up this year, I really wanted to get it done during winter, which I did. So I managed to finish it just a little bit before the spring equinox. And I'm very pleased with it, and I'm looking forward to getting it framed. Framing it, not getting it framed. I have two other pieces that I've been working on. Once I finished Henrietta, I went back to these. These are once a week pieces that I work on. This is His Eyes on the Sparrow, and I've been working on this with Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. Some weeks were better than others, but we try to work on this on Sundays. During Lent, for me, I switched to Saturdays, and just because it affects when we have family dinner. So I've been working on this on Saturdays. And so basically I've been working on this big tree, which is a killer. And I have started Adam here. So I've got his head and his torso and his fig leaf, and I need to get his legs in here and his hair. But that's coming along just slowly. And I think I've got all the leaves on this side of the tree. I need to go back in and do the apples. And then of course the other side is bare, and I think I'm missing the top of the tree. So more to come on that, but I've been working on this a little bit, and I figure every little bit is a little bit forward on this. I got so burned out on working on this piece back forever ago. And so when Olivia decided to start hers on Leap Day last year, I was like, I will pick mine back up and work on it with you. And it's been good to get it back out and just work on it a little bit at a time. And working on it with Olivia has been lovely. So the other stitch along piece that I have that I work on one day a week is my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow. And I have a group that I stitch with on Friday nights. And most of us, well, not most of us, some of us work on Hawk Run Hollow pieces. So I think the last time I showed you this, I had just finished up this last block, maybe not. This is block 3, and I did finish that. I think, you know, when I picked it back up after finishing Henrietta, all I had left was to fill in the grass and then all the water down here at the bottom. So I got all of that done, and I really love the way that this block looks. And then I have started on block 4. This is the last block on the top row. And I'm really loving how it's looking so far. This moon, I've been so excited to get to this block because it has this huge big, crescent moon in it, which of course I love. And it has all of these little, colors and sort of tiles in it that look very Gustav Klimt to me. So I've been super excited to get to it. Also, it looked like a fairly easy block compared to like this one. As per usual, Kathy Barrick has surprises in store for you. So this moon is no joke. It is no joke. Carol Crago, warned me in advance that that moon is a beast, and she is correct. So, yep, I'm working along on that, and you can see kind of how it has all these little, kind of square tiles that in here that will have some different colors in there, and all of that will get filled in, but it's kind of a bear. So, I work on shores on Friday nights, and then on Saturdays or Sundays, depending on where we are in the year, I work on sparrow. And then the other night of the weekend is family dinner night, so I don't work on anything. So after I finished Rebecca Nurse, we were close to the spring equinox, and what I really wanted to get out, what was calling to me, was my at-home piece. And this is in a project bag that I made out of Tula Pink, Pinkerville fabric. I love that unicorn, and very pleased with it. And I have my little M charm that a friend of mine gave me. So this is At Home by Brenda Gervais, and I started this last year on the spring equinox, which is my new year. Like, that's when I start my year over, like with my goals and everything. And this piece, part of the reason I wanted to start it was because my word for last year was home. And when I saw this piece originally, when she presented it at Country Sampler, I literally gasped out loud because I was just so enamored by it. And when she, made it available for wider release, I snapped it up and could not wait to start it. So I absolutely love it. I love everything about it. And it just seemed like the perfect piece to start for spring, and for my word of the year last year being home, all of that good stuff. So, and I have painted my nails a perfectly spring color. This is by Butter London. It's called Trustafarian, and it's got this beautiful kind of holo shimmer to it, which you may or may not be able to see, but yay spring. So, so I'm very excited about this, and I have been working on this, like I said, during the week, and then on the weekends I work on my other two pieces. And these are the colors. I love these blues, and there's some DMC in here and some overdyes. And they're so pretty. So when I picked this up, so last year when I started it, I basically did the whole border, like just the green vine, no flowers really. And my border didn't match up, and so I had ended up ripping out 2 sides of it in order to get it to match up, which was a pain. But I got that whole border in. And that's pretty much all I got done last year. So when I picked it up this year, I decided to work on the top right corner. I don't know why, but that's what I decided to do. And so I've gone in and done all of the flowers in the border for this section, and this is the center, and this is the center. So this is basically like 1, quarter of the design. And then I did this inner border, and I've been working on putting these trees and flowers in. And I just love it. I love it, love it, love it. I am so enjoying stitching on this. And it has been really soothing to me to stitch on, and a little bit hopeful too. Which, seems sort of, I don't know. After losing Tut, I can use all the hope I can get. So, yeah. But I have really enjoyed this, and Tut was with me when I was stitching on this when I first picked it up, and now Ramses comes and sometimes sits with me when I'm stitching, which helps. So, and I'm stitching this on the called for 40 count country mocha with the called for threads. Like I said, it's some overdyes and some DMC, and I think it's like Weeks and some Classic Colorworks and some Gentle Arts. So, but I love it. I think it's just so pretty. So pretty. So I've really been enjoying that. And my plan is to just keep stitching on it as long as I'm enjoying it. And then I'll stitch on something else. So, yeah. Okay, so let's talk about books. Did I say that this will be available on my website? And I'll put the link down there, but CozyEggDesigns.com. It'll be available PDF download. Little advertisement. Okay, so let's talk about books. And I have to get my iPad out to tell me what I've been reading, because I don't know. And since I don't know since I don't know what the last thing was that I talked about. I think I talked about the last reunion. I may have talked about the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, which was enjoyable. It was a little cozy romance. And I think I talked about that. This one, Pumpkin Spice Cafe, by Lori Gilmore. That was fun. And then I read Lights Out by Nevessa Allen. It started off great, and then it just kind of fizzled out. So, and that's a dark romance, so read your trigger warnings, etc. You know the drill. For the SGR book club, we read The Winthrop Agreement, and I actually listened to this on audiobook. And at first I was really having a hard time getting into it. But the further along that I got, the more I enjoyed it. And at the end of it, I was really like, ooh, really enjoyed it. So that one, it was a good one. And then the next thing I read was for my book club, the Absinthe and Shadows Literary Society. And we read The Scholar and the Last Fairy Door by H.G. Perry. This was so good. So good. It's fantasy. It's, kind of academia, magic, the whole shebang. It was so good. I really enjoyed this. And everyone that was at the book club discussion really enjoyed it. So read this book. It's worth it. Really good. And I want to read other things by H.G. Perry now. So, I read another book by Tessa Bailey. This is her newest one called Dream Girl Drama. She wrote Fangirl and The Au Pair Affair. And then this is the third book, like in that little series. This was fine. It was good. It was enjoyable. It was a quick read. I read it like over a weekend. I don't think it was good as the other two, but it was enjoyable nonetheless. And I've needed some kind of, light things. And then currently I am reading Air of Fire, which is the third book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm really enjoying it. I have enjoyed the first two books. Like this series is like on my list to finish this year because I've had it on my shelf for so long. So I'm reading the third book. It is very slow going because I'm really only reading like a chapter a day because that's all I can manage. But I am very much enjoying it, and I have enjoyed the other two books that came before it. So recommend so far. And then I did, when I ordered this, I also, from an independent bookstore, thank you very much. I also ordered this. I have not read it yet. This is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. There's now 3. This is the first book. There are 2 others after it. This is by Heather Fawcett, and I've heard really, really good things about it. So I picked it up because I really want to read it. And if it's good, then I'll get the other 2. It's not that big, so it should be a pretty quick read. Maybe I'll read this after I finish Air of Fire, if I have time before another book club comes around. So, but I have this to read, so I'm looking forward to that. And I did plan out all the rest of the book club picks for my book club for the rest of the year. We meet every other month. They are all up on the website, mistressofthehouseofbooks.com. They're all up there if you're interested. And, I'll be talking more about the next selection in another video, but that's what we got. So, and Eric and I celebrated our 19-year anniversary yesterday, which is crazy. So, right now on my window sill, I have an arrangement of flowers that some friends sent me for Tut, and then I have roses that Eric brought me for our anniversary. So it's it's the perfect juxtaposition of like the bitter and the sweet of life. So yeah. And like I said, Ramses is giving me more attention than he normally does, which I appreciate. But he is also needing more attention than he normally does. So, you know, yeah, so that's where we're at. And thank you all for checking in with me. And I do really hope that you like the new tombstone design. And thank you for bearing with me while I get a little emotional about losing my boy. So, yeah. So, thanks very much. I appreciate it. And happy stitching.